So recently, I got an email from someone telling me basically all of the videos you've done about home defense and prepping are total garbage. People will spend the money if you show them what they need to buy. They'll spend the money and help you make money. You're a bad content creator. You're doing a terrible job. And it turns out that this person is also a YouTube content creator, telling me I have no idea what I'm talking about and that I'm leading people astray and putting people in harm's way when it comes to protecting their homes based on the videos we've done recently and the prepping videos that I've done prior to this one. So, y'all, it turns out this person is also a YouTube content creator and also has a channel kind of in the same real estate as mine. So I'm not going to name this person. It's a person I've kind of dealt with a little bit before. Didn't name them last time, and maybe they thought I didn't get the email. I don't know. But what we're going to do today, we're going to keep talking about it, y'all. We're going to talk more about the same thing. So we talk on the channel all the time about prepping. We talk a good bit about protecting yourself and your family. And today, what I want to talk to you about, as we're going to continue this series, Mr. I have no idea what the heck you're talking about, is basically what to do when somebody breaks into your home at night and you're laying in your bed. That is probably statistically the most defenseless position you will find yourself in, short of having, no weapon and no protection whatsoever, and somebody jumps you in the parking lot. The thing that is interesting about this, home invasions are happening all the time across America. People are looking for pills, money, all these different things because the drug epidemic in America is completely out of control. There are several cities where crime is the highest it's ever been, and home invasion and burglary, especially the violent nature, are on the rise. So what can you do to protect yourself and your family, or just protect yourself, or protect you and your dog to keep you safe and ensure that you don't become a statistic as part of this? And how, in the process of this, do you keep yourself safe and out of jail if you do have to use the firearm or whatever you happen to have on you? So I did a video yesterday, and I will link it right up here in the corner, in the beginning of the video, about protecting yourself legally if you have to use your weapon. And the day before that, I did a video about how to turn your house into a fortress where if somebody breaks in, they have a really, really bad day. I encourage you, if you haven't watched those already, go back and check those videos out because there's a lot of really good value and good situational awareness value and maybe some things you weren't thinking about in how to keep your family safe already. So let's run through it. So you're laying in your bed with your spouse, your wife, your husband, whoever, and your kids are upstairs in their bedroom, and bam, you hear the front door of the house blow off the hinges and somebody is on their way in. You can hear them on their way. So what are the best practices you can have in this scenario to ensure your survival and that your family's protected? So the biggest and most important thing that I can say when it comes to this is know yourself and know your situation. Do not let your pride as your family protector, so to speak, or your ego as, hey, I shoot guns all the time. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go get this guy out of my house and kill him if they're still here. Don't let that take over and cloud your judgment and cloud your thought process when it comes to defending what belongs to you and defending those you care about. The biggest thing you can do is be collected and remove that from the equation altogether. And as a portion of that, when it comes to your house, if you don't have kids, if your kids are sleeping in the room with you, if your kids are staying with mom, whoever, if you don't have to press an assailant that's in your house, don't do it. Who cares? Lock your door, and right before you do, announce as loudly as you can, I've got guns in here, and if you come in, I'm going to blast you. Lock the door, run to your bathroom, lock that door too, just like we talked about defensively in the video from 2 days ago. Don't go out there. Hey, homeowners insurance, that's what it exists for. They can replace all of your crap. It does not matter. And now that person knows you have a gun and they are not going to press your room unless they're coming for you. And if they do, bust them. Within the confines of your state laws, of course. That's really the safest thing you can possibly do if it's applicable and feasible for you to do so. And if that's not possible, first thing to do, call the police. Get them headed your way because they're coming either way. This is going to be a bad, bad day for somebody. Hopefully not you. You might as well get the police headed that way and inform them if you have the time. Allow your spouse or whoever's doing so that's staying barricaded in the room. Give a description of you so when the police get there, they're aware, hey, I'm in my house. I have on a black hat, whatever, a multicam hat, a black shirt, and some blue Oakleys. Whatever. Give them your description. If you're in your underwear, tell them, hey, guess what? I got polka dot boxers on. Hit them with information so that they know who you are and you don't get shot by accident by the police in your own house. It has happened. Next part of that is, again, as we've talked about in the previous videos, as you're going to head out of your room and confront this assailant if you must, understand your firearm. And I have had several questions from people with regards to what is the best home defense firearm. And my answer, earnestly and honestly, when it comes to AK-47s, assault rifles, shotguns, pistols, muzzle loaders, crossbows, whatever the heck, my personal answer, and the answer that I think you have to understand more than anything, first off, beyond just knowing your situation, it's something you're comfortable with. That is the best weapon of choice, is something that you are comfortable shooting and have the ability to hit what you're shooting at with. Super cool if you've got a Gucci Glock, but you can't hit anything with it. Looks neat. I'm sure the assailant will be super impressed as you miss him with every single shot that you've got a red dot, a super cool Trijicon on it, and extended magazine that you can just consistently miss him with. So the best weapon as you're going to do this is both one that you consider what you're going to be shooting at in terms of, are your kids on the same floor? Do you have to worry about over penetration? Do you have to worry about magazine size if you're somebody who doesn't shoot a ton? Accuracy by volume is a thing. The more bullets you put at a target, the higher likelihood you're going to hit it. Got to consider all these things when it comes to that firearm, but most importantly, something you can hit something with. Does you no good to have a 4-pound paperweight that's completely useless. So that's the next little thought process there. So after we've called the police and you've grabbed the firearm of use to you, move slowly forward. Do not press this person or people because most likely they don't know the inside layout of your house like you do. If they break in the front door, you know the angles to your house, they're going to permit you a tactical advantage. Utilize those and move slowly and purposefully forward, trying to maintain as much quiet as you can if you plan on ambushing these people into submission. Not ambushing them in the way of killing them and just, shooting them, but ambushing them in terms of getting the weapon, the light that's mounted to your weapon on them and making them realize, hey, I picked the wrong house, without shooting them, or whatever you're going to do, whatever the situation permits. Move slowly, forward, cautiously and with purpose, as opposed to full speed steaming into the room. That's not going to help you. And the biggest thing moving forward on that next level is maintaining that calm and keeping that ego and the rage in check when you do confront the assailant. You get your weapon light on them, and they're aware that they are caught, giving them instructions of face away from your weapon, put your weapon on the ground, face away from it, lock your hands behind your head, which is a much better technique than putting their hands in front of them, putting them, having them get down on their knees and face away from you so they don't have eye line on you and can't see what you're doing. Doing so in a collected fashion will maybe bring their temperature down a little bit and convince them not to do something stupid that may end up getting them shot by you now that you have the advantage. And in that same line, the police are on the way. Keep that person in the position they're in. There's no need to advance on them and try to put them on the ground. No need to close the distance. Keep the distance. Utilize that distance you have, because there's no way to know if they have a knife on top of that. And along this same token, as we're closing out the episode, if you're not someone with a ton of training, that is okay. Not everybody starts with master's level, training on things. So as part of that, learn to use the flow of your house, learn how to maneuver in there. So take the opportunities in your house to train with your family, come up with a plan like we always talk about. You know, no plan is a bad plan. Even any sort of basic, hey, honey, here's what we're going to do. If it's feasible, I'm going to go attack this threat, neutralize it, and ensure the family's safe. You will lock yourself in our closet until you hear my voice telling you to come out, and you're going to stay on the phone with the police. Or, hey, honey, here's what we're going to do. You are a member of the SWAT team. I am going to press forward into the kitchen like this. You're going to be on my shoulder. Here's how we're going to move. You know what to do. Let's make this happen. Having no training is not the worst thing on the planet. It is totally acceptable, and there's a lot of people that don't have a ton. But the thing is, realize that you need it and practice as best you can to move forward so that you are capable of protecting your family and taking care of yourself. So that's really the biggest high points that we have when it comes to dealing with a threat that may or may not be advancing on you while you're sleeping in your house. More than anything, the things I think are most important is call the police, and if feasible, get them a description of you and the fact that there's somebody in your house to keep you from being shot by the cops. That's a really bad thing to have happen. And also, keep yourself in check, keep your ego in check, realize who you are and that they're in your house and you know home turf better than they do. So more than anything, those are the things I want to talk about. And I encourage you guys, I've already had it happen a bunch of times, including the fair gentleman who believes that I don't know anything about anything, who, that's ironic since they have no background in this whatsoever. Anyways, if you guys want to talk about this, message me in the comments, subscribe to the channel and shoot me an email. My email's in the description. You can send me snail mail to my P.O. box. That works too. That's happened a couple of times now as well. I've linked a bunch of items in the description that are things that I've talked about previously that I think from a person with a survival background is a great set of things for you to have in your survival kit that will exponentially increase your chances of survival. Those things are not overly expensive because, on the channel, we try to stay within a budget. I've got a wife and kids. Spending thousands of money, like I said, on a Gucci Glock, on all these fancy things is just not feasible. So we've come up with some ways to really save yourself on some cost while at the same time putting some really quality items in your kit that you can have in your house in the event you do have a home invasion. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching the channel. It's a pleasure as always, and keep commenting and liking the videos because I love talking with you guys about this stuff. So have an awesome afternoon, and God bless America.